Hello champions and future champions. Hello ChessMood family. Gabuzyan is here with you and we're beginning our daily lesson. I'm very excited about today's topic because it's my favorite in chess. Today's topic is when your opponent is giving you a pawn, you should be taking it. I'm not talking about all the situations, of course, but I mean when there is an unnecessary pawn sacrifice without huge intentions and huge ideas behind, you should be brave enough and accept the pawn. Let me show you one variation at the beginning. White goes c4, c5, knight f3. When black goes d6, this is a neither setup. And after c3, knight f6. There is bishop e2 move. Now, the pawn on e4 is hanging, but we cannot take it because after knight e4, there is queen a4 check, and this knight is being closed. But after knight f3, if black goes knight c6, I have seen a game where after c3 and knight f6, white played bishop c4, and it was black's turn to play, and black didn't take the pawn on e4. But there is no need to be scared of this. This time, pawn sacrifice is not having any ideas, so we should be bravely accepting it. Why is it so important to take the pawns? Because chess is a game of chances. When your opponent is making a mistake and giving you a pawn and you are not taking it, you are basically losing a huge chance. Who knows if your opponent is going to make the second mistake in the game or not? And this means it's very important. All the time we are getting a chance to take the pawn, we should seriously consider all of the opportunities. And if we think it's reasonable, we are going to take it. Now, let's go ahead and see our next example. Now, switching to the white side and seeing another opening possibility. e4, e5, knight f3, and bishop c5. I will ask you to pause the video and think, are we going to take pawn on e5 or we don't? This time we're going to take it. Knight takes e5. Let's think what can black do in this position. If black tries to play d6 and develop the pieces, we're going back knight f3, playing d4 and getting a monster center. So this is not working out. After knight e5, if black goes queen e7 and is trying to use the pin through the e file in order to take the pawn, we're again going d4, getting a very nice center, attacking bishop with the tempo and protecting our knight. If black plays something like bishop to b6, we can go knight to c3, protect the pawn, and already we will have some retreatment move by the knight. For this reason, after knight e5, queen e7 is also not an option. Black can try to go queen to h4, which is a bit tricky. Now, at the same time, black is attacking our pawn on f2 and pawn on e4. What do you think we're playing in this position? Try to pause the video and think about it. We have a nice defensive move, playing queen e2, protecting both of our pawns. Something like bishop takes f2 check, queen f2, and queen e4 check is not working out as well, because now we go back with our queen, cover the king and protecting the knight. And for all of these reasons, after bishop c5 in the opening, white is capable of taking on e5 and staying with a healthy extra pawn. Let's go ahead to see the next one. Switching back to the black side again and seeing e4, e6, d4, d5, it's a French defense, and what if now white plays knight f3? Are we taking the pawn on e4 or we don't? Another question to you. Pause the video and think about it. We're taking this pawn on e4 and having a great position. Knight f3 is a useless move. If white goes knight to g5, we play knight f6, protecting the pawn. If knight c3, trying to take it back, we go bishop b4, pinning this knight, developing our piece. Now black is threatening to play h6 and keep this very strong extra pawn in the center. White is not having any good options, and for this reason, black is instantly obtaining a great advantage right out of the opening. Let's go ahead to see the next one. Let's see another opening possibility. e4, c6, d4, d5. And what if here white goes c4? Are we going to accept the pawn or we don't? Let's think about this. Pause the video and make your suggestions. We have no reasons to decline the pawn. We're not taking the pawn on c4, of course, because there is bishop takes c4. Instead, after c4, we're taking the hanging pawn, d takes e4, knight c3, knight f6. Again, we're keeping this. Even if white somehow manages to take back this pawn, still there is no much value in this. White can try to play bishop g5 in order to take the knight and take the pawn. But we have now bishop f5, and protecting the pawn is very easy. After knight g2, with the idea of knight g3, we can play something like knight bd7, knight g3, bishop g6, and having a great position. Either way, this is useless idea for white, and black is having a very nice position. If now you are playing, guys, ChessMood openings, I will make a suggestion for you. Your opponent sacrifices a pawn, you can bravely take it. Why am I saying so? Because if there is a dangerous pawn sacrifice, we would definitely cover it in the courses. And if you are facing something unknown for you, be brave, take the pawn. And in general, when you are facing opening pawn sacrifice ideas, or maybe not in the opening but in the middle games as well, I'm not saying you take all of the pawns, but you definitely need to spend some time and try to understand whether the pawn sacrifice is a reasonable one, and if it's not, we're going to take the pawns. So let's be greedy in chess. Gabuzyan was here with you. Thank you for subscriptions, likes, and sharing this video with your friends. We appreciate it a lot. See you next time during our next daily lessons.